Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. Alright, it's that time of the week again. It's time for the Undervalued Keys Show! Alright, here we go. Let's get dived right on into it. Now, before I reveal what the undervalued key of the week is, I do want to let you guys know about our 300 subscriber giveaway. Now, when we hit 300 subscribers, we're going to be giving this book away. It's the Absolute Carnage #1 Murdero's store exclusive variant cover. It's really crazy. You got Carnage there eating a bowl of Venom cereal, and it, yeah, it's definitely an interesting cover. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get dived into what the undervalued key of the week is. Da-da-da. This week, the undervalued key is Spider-Man 2099 #1. You might be asking, why this book, Jacob? And I'm going to go ahead and get dived right on into that because actually, I think as we all know, there's kind of been a market shakeup recently and books are going for super cheap. And this is a book that I have a lot of confidence in personally, and I've just been watching this book for like a long time, like over a year now, and so I know the prices really well on this, and I firmly believe that it is near its rock bottom, if not at rock bottom. All right, so let's get dived right on into why I think Spider-Man 2099 #1 is the key of the week. Now, first off, before we dive into some data and stuff like that, I just want to kind of go over a little bit about the book that a lot of people aren't actually aware of. Now, it is argued, obviously, and I have several copies myself, of what is called the first appearance of Spider-Man 2099 Miguel O'Hara in Amazing Spider-Man 365. And actually, to be very frank with you, as someone who legitimately read these story arcs when they first came out in the 90s, has reread them over 10 times probably. The That's just a preview. That is a preview. It's 3 or 4 pages taken from this book right here. So it's just a preview of this book. I don't know. A lot of times they just call that a preview of the character. They don't end up calling it the first appearance. Anyways, in this circumstance, at the time when CGC did this, this was not a popular character. And so they went ahead and they called this the first appearance since it's an Amazing Spider Man issue, and that makes it cooler. So, anyways, that is kind of the dealio here is that this, if you look on the CGC label here, says Origin Spider Man 2099 Miguel O'Hara red foil cover. It does need a change, honestly. This is his first full appearance and his origin. I don't even think it's personal opinion anymore. I think that's kind of validated as fact. Anyways, that's what CGC calls it, and so it still has the really cool red foil cover, and it's a #1. So regardless of whether CGC calls this his first full appearance or if they just call it his origin and his first ongoing title, I guess that doesn't really matter. I think in the end the market will decide. So yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I think this book is being a little undervalued in the marketplace. Additionally, there's another reason why I don't know if undervalued in the marketplace isn't particularly the right exact verbiage for what's also going on with this book. Because obviously, we all know there was a big spike in the prices when he was revealed in the end post credits scene of the last Miles Morales movie, the multiverse, and so he's going to be in the new one, and it's a two-part series. So I'm assuming he's going to be in both movies. The trailer for the new movie kind of started some more hype, but at this point, guys, that hype has kind of completely died down. That trailer, I want to say it came out in December, November or December of 2021, and we're now 7 months later. People are kind of forgetting, but that movie comes out at the end of this year. And so at some point soon, another trailer is going to be released. It's going to, remind people, hey, this cool character's coming, and those prices are going to go back up again. Additionally, we all know this, if you look back at the history of these kinds of things, these economic downturns don't tend to last forever and ever. So if you do have a little bit of extra money on the table, hey, this is a really good one to get. Let's dive into some numbers. And I'm going to actually break some myths here with 90s books, because I do have a CGC account, so I can actually see how many books are graded by CGC. And there are, you would not believe this, people say, how many books do you think was printed of this? Upwards of 750,000 maybe, right? And I'm taught, this is a guy who has looked for these books for years. They're all dinged up, guys. All the other ones are dinged up and beat to heck. This book takes damage so easily. It's a foil cover that's just very easy. You bend it once or mishandle it in any fashion, you are putting a spine tick on it. That is the way this book is. It just is that way. Another reason, so here we go. We got total in all grades. There are only 5,862 copies, which in my opinion, guys, is a whole lot less than the possible estimated number in people's minds for a 90s book. So there are under 6,000 of these graded by CGC. There actually are, guys, 8 existing in the world, 9.9 copies. I'd kind of be curious to see what those would go for, but I didn't see any listed within a long time. I think the people who own them are keeping them. There are 2,911 9.8s. So that is where the majority of the grades lie. Right around 50% of the books are in the 9.8 grade. So we'll go ahead and look at some data. And I'm going to tell you right now, I purchased this copy myself sometime during the market boom, a little bit after, I want to say in January, as the prices started to come down a little bit. And I thought maybe that was the point to buy it. Turns out I was wrong. I went ahead and purchased my 9.8 copy for $300. So that was, like I said, months back. And that was the price about then. I honestly, I got a discount at the time. They were selling for about $330. And you guys know me, I always try to get it a little under. And so that's what I did. Unfortunately, and the crazy thing is, and that's why I'm putting this book on the show this week, is right now you can get a 9.8 copy of this on eBay for shipping included, $200 plus tax, which to me is kind of unbelievable, seeing as how it was selling for $330 not 5 months ago. And those are buy it nows. There are also auctions up that may end lower, as you'll see right here. Because we did have, within the last 2 weeks, I only used the last 2 weeks because this is a really hot book and it trades hands a lot. So within the last 2 weeks, there was a low of 160 plus tax, shipping included. So somebody snagged themselves an amazing deal, 50% off of the price of 5 months ago, which is insane because that was already after the comic boom and the bubble and everything had kind of come back down to a stabilization point, if you guys remember. All right, so that's crazy. And there was a high of 210. So yeah, not many people are even willing to throw down much more than $200 on this book right now. So there you are. They're sitting up there for 200. I was unable to find any info on 9.8s on Go Collect. It wouldn't show me without giving them $80 a month, and I don't want to do that. So I did see some data on Go Collect for a 9.6. I don't actually own a 9.6 copy, so I've not purchased one, but Go Collect says, and this is kind of skeptical if you've watched some other people's Swags video this week, and is it Comic Book Investments? Yeah, it's anyways. So they say that their 1 year, I just use their 1 year average instead of, so I thought maybe that would help be a little closer. Their 1 year average on a 9.6 was $93. Right now I was able to find on the eBays a shipping included $85 plus tax, buy it now, and doing some searching and stuff. Within the last 2 weeks, we had a low of $70 plus tax for the 9.6 and a high of 92.50 for a beautiful 9.6 of this book, which is still, again, not bad. It's about 50% less than the 9.8, which is on par for where the price should be. And let's go ahead and look at 9.4s also. As you see here, we have the we have the 9.4 on my back wall display, and so 9.4s, and I purchased this copy for $74.99 plus shipping and handling at the time, which I don't even remember what it was because it was like a while ago when I got this. Yeah, and so yeah, it was maybe like 85, $90. Yeah. And right now you can buy a copy for shipping included, $65 plus tax on the 9.4. And the low that I was able to find within the last 2 weeks was an incredible $54 plus tax. Just I think someone got themselves a steal, honestly. 9.4 displays very well. Like this one right here, it just has the minorest of spine ticks. It's so very small, you can't even see it until you get it out and hold it just right in the light. So 9.4s are really nice in this book. And we did have a high of $68 plus tax. So yeah, I I want to say, go for the 9.6, honestly, guys, on that, because just you spend a little bit more, $20 more or so, and you can get a definite a definite copy that's going to be worth more in the long run, I think. Um, Now, guys, everybody knows how popular the the first Miles movie was, and look what it did to his books. And I've been preaching about this on the channel, about the diversity and about how a lot of times that really can make characters pop, and people really gravitate towards them and latch onto them because it's kind of that underdog, and everybody sees themselves as that underdog. And so to see an underdog succeed and win, you know what I mean? That's where it really lies. And another note about this book that a lot of people don't know, just see the really nice cover, cool Spider-Man outfit. I do want to point out that additionally, Miguel O'Hara is actually of mixed descent. He is an Irish American, uh, Latino heritage. So when his father, I believe it was his father, was the Irish American, and his mother is Latino, and so he has a very mixed heritage that I don't think you see very often in even comic books. A lot of times you might see a bishop, you might see an African American displayed and put forefront. But I feel like it's not really often that you actually see um, someone who's mixed, who has multiple different, and that's a lot of times, guys, like that's what I am, that's what my kids are, that's what a lot of us here in America are, whose families have been here for over 100 years. We're just kind of like, you know what I mean, all this mesh of all kinds of different um, heritages and backgrounds and things like that. And so I really gravitated towards this character as a child, and I think when the people see him live on screen, um, being portrayed by, or not portrayed, I guess, because it's going to be a cartoon, not live action, but being voiced by um, a very well respected and amazing actor who is of Hispanic descent. I really think that this character is going to be one of those characters that in ten years we look back and we're like, the people that didn't see this, I can't believe I didn't see he was going to be so big. Last point here. One of the hugest points in the whole thing, maybe, is what is most important about a character. The most very important thing that makes them pop when a new person sees them. They look cool. And he just looks cool. So he's got everything going for him. He looks cool. He's of mixed descent, something that has not been done before. He's there are low census counts even for what would people would consider a 90s book. And if you look up a lot of these other 90s books, there's 15,000 copies. Keeping in mind that this recently was selling for $300 plus, don't you think if people had lots of minty fresh copies, they would have been sending them in and getting them graded? And I've been around comic shops in the whole state here. Nobody has these books. Nobody has them. They don't exist. That's I'm just being honest. Like most of them are beat to heck. CGC has a little less than 6,000. That's what's out there, and I think it's a valuable book, guys. All right, yeah, and that's why I put it on the show this week. All right, so that's what I got. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe for your chance to win the Absolute Carnage #1 Murderos variant cover. Really crazy looking, like a cereal box cover. It's just it's so cool. All right, and remember, if you guys do like this kind of content and you want to help support the channel, click the link below and shop on my eBay store. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right.